Guys, welcome back to JB's Toy Trunk for another action figure overview slash review. This time it's going to be from our guys over at Mondo. Yes, Teela, finally making it into the ranks of the other guys. From our left, we got Beastman hanging out. We have He-Man, Skeletor. These just looking for someone else to add to the party. And Teela is the winner. So we got Teela actually about a month and a half ago. It's been really busy and I really wanted to do an official unboxing, overview, and review of Teela because I did take her out previously and found some concerns. So what we're gonna do here is look at the box, take her out, show you the few concerns that I got, and then of course, while I'm doing this, make sure you guys leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think of Mondo, what they're doing with not just Masters of the Universe, but with all the other great lines. For example, the Batman animated series, and of course, Marvel, Spider-Man animated series. They were doing a lot of great things, just to name a few. We're gonna ask our guys, our big dudes, to go ahead and get out of here so we can concentrate on Teela, let her shine for a little bit, and see what she's all about. Once you get Teela out of the shipper box, she comes with a plastic bag, which a lot of the Mondo figures come with. And let's go ahead and look right here. Got Mondo 1/6 scale figure, 1/6 scale collectible, Masters of the Universe. You got Teela right there. Right here on the back, you have the little write-up on Teela, the warrior goddess. Go ahead and hit pause if you want to go ahead and read that. Right at the top right, you can see Mattel by Mattel. And then, of course, Mondo 1/6 scale figure, just like they had on the other side. Just like our Mondo figures from before, has a Velcro door, basically, that comes open. That nice clear window. Now, they all come with that nice plastic bag on all of the figure itself and the accessories to keep it nice and neat. I'm just suggesting if you're going to do inbox and leave her in there, actually open it up, take her out, and then remove the plastic so you can see it a little bit better through that window. Over here on the inside flap, you can see the actual action figure with some good and very fantastic figure photography. Teela, right there. And yeah, let's go ahead and open her up so you guys can see her a little bit clearer without all the glare. Once you get Teela out of the box, you can see very well protected with the plastic cover. Once you remove that first plastic cover, you can see a little bit more detail with the hands and of course her sword right here, her spear. Once you take the middle portion out with the actual Teela in there, you can see the bottom. Another head sculpt with the actual headdress, the Cobra headdress, which looks phenomenal. And then you got your base plate. But let's go ahead and start with the figure first. And here we have Teela. What is awesome about it, and my main concern is she is wobbly. Her joints on her knees and ankles are very loosey. Definitely when I have her posed in the either detolf or on the shelf, she's definitely going to be on the figure stand because it's been a tough moment just now just to get her to stand up. We'll talk about that here in a minute. I want you guys to let's focus in on how she looks as far as the paint apps, sculpts, and everything, because I think that is a definite plus. If you look at her face and her sculpt, you could see with the paint that they do on the skin, it kind of gives it like that shadow and a little bit more composition and definition. Right here is her crown, her hair comes down into like a high ponytail, and of course the other side you got her earrings, and then right up front with her head sculpt. The rest of the figure looks really good with her outfit, and you can see hopefully you guys could see in the camera how the different paint and the skin tone, you can see it right in there, gives it some definition, kind of like the He-Man. Nice detail along her outfit, and then of course on her gauntlets and on her arms, on her bicep, going to the back, painted right there on the buckle of her armor up top, and then of course into her outfit down here. Very nice detail on Teela down to the legs, and you can see here, hopefully you guys could see in the legs that paint detail that I was talking about. You got her knee pads, I guess you could say, going into her boot, the different colors as far as the straps itself, the leather, and then of course the heels painted. And right at the bottom, doesn't say Andy's toy, but it says 2024 Mattel Mondo. So that's real quick rundown of Teela, her paint sculpts, and her outfit. And you can see, guys, I could barely get her to stand. There you go. Let's go through articulation. She can do a 360 all the way around on both arms. Let's see how far she could do her side lateral raise. I did not heat this, and I typically don't try to heat a figure if I'm going to do a review, just so you guys could see what you might expect coming out of the box. So if it doesn't get to a positive, or doesn't give me warm fuzzies as far as bringing that arm out, then I'm not gonna, I'm gonna have to heat that up. Same thing on this side. So let's look under the little fur there, see if it's got a nice joint in there. She'll probably get some good articulation. I just don't want to heat it up right now. Let's go to the bicep. There is no bicep swivel, but there is a single joint right here at the elbow where she will swivel. And then of course, come in nice and tight to no more than a 90 with that single. And she has her wrist. She'll have full rotation of the wrist, back and forth, lateral and horizontal movement. So you got some movement here on her other wrist. When it comes to the waist, it has the upper diaphragm right under her chest where you can feel it swivel and move. Feels like it's on a ball joint. Nothing at the waist. And I'm glad they didn't do that because it would have broken up the actual her outfit. So I'm okay with that. When it comes to her legs, let's see how far she could kick out. Well, that's pretty good. Almost 90 to the front. Again, this is without any heat. She could go up pretty good. To the back. Not too bad. Now, will she swivel? A little bit of a rotation right here in the hip area. To the knees. The double joint at the knees, they do look kind of funny and ugly, but again, if you can pose her the right way, you won't see that. But she does have a joint right there and right there. Very stiff. This one, the left leg, a little bit looser. So let's do that. She could go to about 90 there. And then the second pivot, you guys could hear it, it's tight. But it does swivel right there at the top of the knee, and at the top of the calf, it will swivel as well. And I think that's why we're having a lot of issues. It's really, really loose right in there. Same thing on this side. Not as loose, but it's loose. When it comes to the ankles, she can point down, point up, rotation and pivot. Very loose. Very, very loose. So, yeah. Unfortunately, too loose. That is Teela. Real quick rundown on the paint app sculpt, her outfit, and her articulation. Let's see what other accessories she comes with. I got Teela to move her arm just a little bit, but this one was still kind of tight. Definitely going to have her on this pedestal or the stand right now. She's like she had too much cough syrup. She's about to fall over, but we're not going to talk about her and her different consumptions or anything like that. We are going to start talking about her different head sculpts, which, guys, Mondo is continuing to kill it. They're getting better and better, in my opinion, with paint apps and sculpting and everything like that, because her face as it is now is, I mean, it's beautiful. She is a beautiful looking figure. If you just look from the sides and then of course to the hair. Now let's go ahead and push her back in the background there. Let's look at her sinister look. She's upset. She's ready to go. She's mad that she has weak knees. I don't know what it is, but Everything from the mouth, the way that it's sculpted, to the lipstick, to the eyebrows. She looks really, really good. Let's go ahead and compare. You guys can see the difference there as far as the facial expressions. And of course, to the left, and then to the right. So these are very similar as far as the hair is the same. It's just going to be the facial expression. And let's bring in the third one. The third one has her hair kind of all over the place, I guess you could say. Got like a happy grin. Maybe it's like this ponytail does not swivel. At least I don't want to mess with it. Yeah, I don't want to mess with it, but you can see here her ponytail holder, and then of course her long hair. That's a little bit longer hair than what's right here. You know, you guys know me, I don't have any hair, so I'm not a pro at it. But let's compare what she comes with out of the box and her other head sculpt there. She's smiling pretty good. That is, I like that facial expression. I really do. It's just, I don't know if I want to pose her with, you know, her hair like, she's like in an action pose where she's like, you know, jumping or running or anything like that. So we'll see. We'll see if we could pop the heads off and see what they look like. Before we get to that, let's go ahead and go through the other accessories. Here is her headdress. That is amazing, guys. The detail, the paint detail, the nice little shadowing, the nice little wash on there, the eye, both eyes, fangs, and the nice detail coming all the way down the front plate. I don't know if it's gonna go, I guess so. Let's see if how this works. Looks like there's a brim up there. I'm guessing that, I don't know if you guys could see, there's a little point in there where the nose is. I don't know if it's gonna go right there. You know what? You stay there, Teela. Let's get your other head sculpt. Oh yeah, that's it. She's saying hi. Okay, so that's how we're gonna do it. Put the chin in, and just like that. Wow, look at that. That is pretty awesome. And then of course she would go right there. Wow. The detail with Mondo, again, I think they're just getting better and better. We're gonna keep her like that because that's how, when we do our head swap, we're gonna put that on there. Before we get to those head swaps, here's her shield. Nice handle. Detail, I mean, even on the back of the shield, guys, you could see the little, like the rivets. They got a nice little paint app to it. You got the handle. And then going to the front, seems like it's a little bit weathered. Right around the brass or the gold or whatever metal they use in Eternia. Let's go to her sword. The detail right in the sheath. Looks really good. And you can see right here on both sides. And then of course the detail all the way through the actual belt or the strap that you would put on her. Remove the sword. Good detail on the sword. A little bit of weight to it, not too much. Unlike the staff for Skeletor, which is really heavy, this is lightweight, so we should have no issues there. And again, some more detail. If you guys could see it right there on the actual handle. Looks really good. We'll go ahead and put that, sheathe the sword. Here is her spear. Detail right here. I guess you could say right here on the staff. Did I say sword? I meant to say staff. It's got some soft plastic to it, so hopefully over time it doesn't fall. And then of course right here toward the end of it. And you can see right here, if we stand it up next to her, how tall it'll be. And her other staff with the cobra head on it, well, she'll do this when she has her other headdress on. looks really good. And right here along the staff, I don't know if you guys could tell, has like almost like that wood grain look to it. It's like it's been worn right up here, and the colors kind of just blend down to the bottom. Like this is where you're going to be holding the staff most of the time. Looks really good. And you can see it's a little bit shorter than her other staff. That's how tall it's going to look. We're talking about height. Let me do this before I forget. Let's see how tall Teela is. She is looking at just under 11 and a half. So about 11 and a quarter. With this being 1/6 scale and, you know, average 12-inch figure, she's a little bit shorter, which compared to He-Man, what do you guys say? That doesn't help He-Man's cause, does it? I mean, he's got his knees, you know, I kind of posed him like he's kind of striding there for a minute. That doesn't really help his cause, or my point that she would be shorter. You know, nothing's too exact. And of course, if we go to the tape, yeah, he's at 11 and 3/4. So 11 and a quarter, 11 and 3/4, but just a touch shorter than He-Man himself. So, all right, you had your time to shine last time. Let's give Teela her moment. A couple pairs of hands that we want to go over. We have her open hands, left and right. We have the fist hands, like she's about to punch somebody. I don't know if it's going to come out in the video, but the same thing with the paint on her, like her chest and her face, the pink hues with, you know, the skin and the pink hues. You kind of see it here along the knuckles. So that's Mondo, again, making an attempt to give the figures not just a plain, you know, color. They're trying to give some definition and some composition from the eye when it's on the shelf, and of course against light. So hopefully that's coming out for you guys. All right, guys, enough of the accessories. Let's do some head swaps. Okay, I had a good enough time removing her original head sculpt and actually pulled the dumbbell pin out. So I'm actually gonna try to once I take this off, put this back in and work with it, because I think, I don't know, you know what, I'm just gonna leave it because I want this head sculpt. But I put her head into the headdress like you saw earlier and put it on there. Now here's the thing is with the headdress, again, most people don't walk around with a Cobra headdress unless you're, you know, from Attorney or anything like that. But it looks huge on her, but I guess it's fitting. The detail on the headdress is really good. Same thing on the staff. And of course that face where she's not the happiest, looks pretty good. Very pleased so far. So if I wanted to put her on the, you know, on display like this, I could and would, but I just know I'm not going to. So there she is with the headdress on. And here's what I'm going to show you what I was talking about. Go ahead and it's just sitting on there because that peg, that dumbbell came out. So that's where the dumbbell would go in, and that's where the dumbbell ports into. So let's go with this look right here, which is a good look too. I kind of like this one as well. Let's see if we could remove the staff, and we'll give her this staff. I'm guessing that's going to be like a newer look, a more modern look. What do you guys think? And then over here to the side with the ponytail. I dig it. I definitely like it. I will not be posing her on the shelf like this. But again, Mondo killing it with the details. And now we have Teela with, this might be the way I'm going to pose her. I really like the detail on the shield and the detail in the sword. It's either going to be the sword or her staff right here. I'm still debating on it. Clean look. Very, very nice. And of course with the, I guess you could say the fur on the back, it's really, really nice. What I've had to do for some of the pictures that I did when I first got her was, you know, just a simple brush to brush that hair down, and gives it that nice look like she hasn't been in battle or anything like that. So I did forget to, I guess you could say, mention that when I first took her out. And the same thing for her boots. down here. She's got the fur right along the boots. So with an expensive figure like Mondo puts out, you know, the 1/6 scale, you want to make sure that you take care of these figures. I mean, you know, do what you got to do. It's your figure, not mine. But I am going to try my best to keep Teela in the best condition possible. There we are, guys. My 4 figures from Mondo. I do want a Battle Cat, and I'll take a Panther, but I think instead of Panther, we could have Beastman as the, you know, the counter there. Battle Cat would look really good. Again, it's just size. And of course, right now, price. You know, I didn't jump on it when it was initially released. If they were to re-release it again, it would be hard pressed for me not to go ahead and purchase that. I really do like the Mondo He-Man Masters of the Universe lines. The detail, the flexibility, the versatility, I guess you could say, also with the different accessories, whether you want to do a classic Skeletor, a classic Teela, a Teela with maybe, you know, the headdress in there, which, oh man, that looks really good. And then of course with He-Man, if you get the Battle Armor He-Man, which this is, and same thing with Skeletor, the Terror Claws, you know, put the claws on it. It's versatile. You could do a lot of great things with it. My one concern is some of the joints when it comes to the looseness. He-Man I definitely have to have on a stand because he does have weak ankles, just actually not as bad as Teela. Teela is probably the worst of them as far as loose joints. Skeletor, he's got loose wrists. I don't know if I wore it out when I was doing different pictures and different poses, you know, with his staff. And then of course, lucky with Beastman that he's good for the most part, but he has his neck peg is kind of off, meaning it's actually kind of loose. So if I'm not careful, with just a slight pressure, his head will come off. Are they going to continue to work on it? Sure. Are these like our regular action figures where, you know, we're playing with them? You know, if I got my granddaughter, you know, just playing with them and stuff, so she knows that these we look at, we take care of, but we don't play with, and that's pretty much what they're going to be on the shelf. You know, highly posable, not statues, but action figures, but at the same time, they're really going to be stagnant and, you know, change poses every now and then. So leave your comments down below. What do you guys think of Teela? And also, do you guys collect this line? What other figures do you want them to come out with? Because we've seen Duncan or Man-at-Arms, we've seen Merman, we've seen the Hordak. So I'm hoping for a good Evil Lyn, you know, that pairing. And you never know, maybe a Ram Man, maybe a Buzz Off. But I think this right here is the core. And the main reason why we got him is just his plain presence and size on the shelf. He barely clears a Detolf, and that's why we're going to new shelves downstairs where we could actually open it up and accentuate the 1/6 scale figures. Thank you guys for tuning in. Always enjoy the ride. We'll see you guys next time.